Hey, Mr. Clash here with another video on how to attack these ring bases. This is Max Town Hall 10 ring base. There'll be two different bases shown. They're the same base. Another mistake in the war. And a quick word on these bases. Now, have a look at the troops that he's bringing in. 9 Valkyries, Bowlers, Clan Castle, 3 Rage, a Jump, and a Freeze. Now, the idea on the Town Hall 10 bases, Town Hall 9 is similar. You try to do the same thing on a Town Hall 9. That is, the Valkyries, you want the Valkyries into the core, so that's why you're going to have a jump spell into the core. So the jump spell is for the Valkyries to get into the core, but Valkyries will move to the closest thing. So this being the closest thing, if you're wherever you're putting the Valkyries, let's say you're going to put the Valkyries here, then the closest thing needs to be this, which means everything from here and let's say up to there, all of this needs to be gone to get the Valkyries to go in. And the idea generally when you're doing that is you're going to send the queen in. He's got a queen walk. You're going to send the queen in somewhere. Now it's up to you, but this is the whole point of it, is that you're going to send the queen in somewhere. So let's just say the queen's going to go in here and walk. Now once this is cleared out of the way, and you can have bowlers come in with the king on the other side, they will take out all of this trash. Once that is out, you can drop a Valkyrie, see where the crosshairs go. If the crosshairs go right in the middle, great. All the rest of the Valkyries come in. Once the Valkyries come in, you have a rage spell for them. And in this case, being a Town Hall 10 has a freeze. One freeze will get the Expos and that Inferno Tower, and this core will go down lickety split, and your heroes, the Queen will still path around this way, the King with the bowlers will path around that way, the Valkyries will come out, and it will be game over for the base. That's the general plan on doing these ring bases. Now the same applies to Town Hall 9. Now what I suggest is that everybody who's a Town Hall 10 make a ring base. There are a whole variety of ring bases. You could make this one if you like. Some of them have a moat around the outside where these wall pieces create a little moat to just encourage everything to path around and not go into the middle, and that's fine. However you do it, I've got a one at Town Hall 9 that has a moat such as this, and I've got all kinds of spring traps and everything, so that if you try to hog it, you're going to lose your hog. So just like, what do I do? Do I come in to kill the queen? You can position the queen outside. You can position the queen in the core if you like. You can play around with it. Just make one. If you're a Town Hall 9, make a ring base. If you're a Town Hall 10, make a ring base. Not to take into war. I'm showing you how to beat this base in war, so don't take this base into war. The point is so that if you ever come across one in war, then you've got something you can issue your clanmates a friendly challenge, and then they can take out the base. So let's have a look at how Weapon X takes out this base. Have a look at the troops at the bottom and you'll see it nearly goes 3 minutes. So there is always that concern that the request that please can we have an extra 30 seconds at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11, but this shows you that you can still take out a base with these. You can still 3-star a base at Town Hall 10, the right base, within 3 minutes, and being even a slow queen walk. So even spending a bit of time with a queen walk at the beginning is not restricting the ability to 3-star this Town Hall 10. Town Hall 11, of course, might be a different issue, but yeah, I'm not a Town Hall 11. I can't really speak for them. Okay, so you can see the beginning of the trash removal. Obviously, this pad here is going to be a little bit difficult. So, okay, wizard on there, send in the giant to distract these weapons so that the wall breakers can get in. So you notice that giants to distract these weapons, the wizard was shooting the queen. That's how you get the wall breakers in. So distracting the weapons so you can get wall breakers in. So now you can see that there's a little bit of a funnel gap created here, so that anything that comes in from this side will now want to start to path around to the left, because the left is where all the nearest weapons are. So the queen walk's going pretty good. Double poison on the clan troops coming out. So you've got a bowler to help create a little bit of a funnel on here. One bowler to take out that. We've got the wall breakers coming in. They decide that well, they're going to go over to near there. That didn't matter. There was enough wall breakers to get the troops in, and now the rest of the bowlers coming in. So you see that first bowler was to try and create a funnel so that the rest of the bowlers could come in nicely. So they'll start taking out all of this stuff and pathing around to the left. Queen's on the right, she's doing fine. Bit of a rage spell, get them destroying things quickly. You don't want to run out of time on this. It can be a very time consuming attack. Okay, jump spell down, here come the Valkyries all through this opening that the Queen made. Ready to rage them and then freeze the 2 Expos and Inferno. That's it. And now those raged Valkyries will just rip through this core like a hot knife through butter. And through a hot knife through melted butter almost. That was so quick. Got a baby dragon taking out the storage on the left. Some minions taking out some of the trash on the bottom. Get that going. There are no weapons down there to take out the minions, so you might as well start cleaning that up. And there you go. It's just a matter of time. I'll just speed that up a little bit. And ring base destroyed. Town Hall 10 max. Okay, got the little builder's hut that wasn't taken care of, but it doesn't matter. So maxed ring base destroyed. Obviously he's got very good heroes. And we'll have a look at base number 2. Of course they've committed the cardinal sin in war, and that is having 2 bases that are the same. So even same hero placement. So little bit slightly different sort of attack that you'll see here, but it's the same overall idea. In terms of, like, it didn't play out exactly the same is what I'm trying to say, but it's the same overall idea. And again, less than 3 minutes, and it has a very time-consuming queen walk at the beginning of the attack. So these things are to be considered when you're attacking these bases. So you've got the wall breaker to come in there. Well, the queen, if the queen goes in there, she may or may not go in there. So it's an interesting place to get the queen in. And what makes that also interesting is that there is a possibility that the Inferno Tower might target the queen if she starts to get too close to this sort of thing. She should just path around, and you have subjected the queen to a little bit of expo fire. But part of one aspect with doing a queen walk is if it's possible to have something within the queen walk where it doesn't matter which way the queen goes. Now you'll see he's placed the bowler up the top here instead of down the bottom, which means any bowlers placed will want to go down to the bottom. Well, you'll notice on the first attack that the bowlers came, because he created that funnel with that bowler at the bottom, the bowlers had nowhere else to go. Now that funnel is kind of there a bit now. Had a wall breaker fail on that side, so that's no good. But now that the wall breakers are broken through, everything else, the bowlers will just want to path around the outside. But the same principle still does apply, and that is, even eventually at some point, they will create enough of a thing around, which they've done here. So all the Valkyries come in, you can see the jump spell has gone down, rage spell, and then the freeze spell. And that's it. So now it'll just be the king and the bowlers around on the left, the queen with healers, well, diminished healers, seeing as there are skellies attacking her healers and air defense attacking her healers. So on the right hand side, and the bowlers bashing through a wall on the left, but eventually they'll get it all done and it will be fine. The queen's got the queen's ability still yet, and a few little weapons remaining, and those weapons won't be any match for the golem coming through with some bowlers behind, bit of tankage here, tankage there, and that'll be game over for this base. Another maxed Town Hall 10 ring base falling to the same type of strategy, and that is to get your queen walking to create one half of the funnel, bowlers with either golems or king or even witches. If you can even have golems and witches to help create another part of the funnel. That I've seen it done. We'll go back to the first one. I've seen it done with witches, where the witches are creating one half of the funnel, and especially that can apply at Town Hall 8 as well. If you don't, you can get witches in your clan castle, but you can also bring witches if you can't get bowlers, and the witches can follow golems around, and the skeletons can all go around one side while you queen walk the other, and then the Valkyries come in through the guts of the base. So that is pretty well how you attack a ring base. Now, like I said, make one up. You can copy this one if you like, but I'm pretty sure you've come across them in your clan wars. Make them up, Town Hall 9s also make them up. You'll find them all over the place. Make them, have someone or many someones in the clan with them as spare bases. So that way, if you ever encounter them in a war, you always have a base that someone can attack and practice on to make sure they get their patterns down on how to queen walk, how to take out these ring bases. Anyway, that's it for today's video. And the question of the day. It's another name question. What do you call someone with a shaved head? What do you call a man? It's got to be a man this time. I've never heard a woman. But what do you call a man with a shaved head? You call him Sean. Oh, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I do appreciate it. Leave the video a thumb up. Let me know what you thought of the attacks. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.